ground too. So gently roll down, come forwards into your plank or your half plank or your box. So you can be down on the knees here if you need to. You're going to draw the knee in between the two elbows and exhale out. So really now focusing on that wide breath and then core connected. Now here you can come to your downward facing if you want, lifting up the back leg, draw the knee between the elbows and really pull into that pelvic floor. So you can switch over. I'll switch over the first time and next time I'll do 2 in a row. Heels further down. So you're going to switch over legs. So you can do it out of plank or box position. Draw the knee between the 2 elbows. Come back up. And then swap over. So you're going to swap over and do 2 in a row. So each time you can make that harder. If it's difficult enough doing this, just switch over. Otherwise, I'm going to just do 2 in a row. So feel that core connection, that pelvic floor. Good, and I'm going to lift on up, drop the back heel. Now drop that other leg, feet to hip distance at the back. Big inhale, exhale and really tuck into that pelvic floor and flatten out that belly like you're putting on your jeans. That's activating your TVA, your transverse abdominis. So draw that knee right through the elbows. Exhale and then just gently float down. Heels touch down, drop gently to the knees. You can sink back into your child's pose and chill for a second. Superb. Let's come into your cat stretch. So just do a cat stretch and exhale. Otherwise you can sink on back. Cat stretch again if you want. I'm going to go into a striking cobra. You're going to strike that cobra there, and then if you wish you can come up to an upward facing. So just working through that spine a little bit. Draw into your pelvic floor, box position here if you don't want to do a striking cobra. So your slinky spine there, drawing into your core, cobra or upward facing dog. So there if you want that harder. So gently just come on back to the ground and come into a swan dive easy. So looking at the floor, you can just take your breath in. So elbows are aligned with the shoulders and you're softly pressing. So you can squeeze into your pelvic floor. That's your strength one. The first one was mobility. Then you can lift that and then come forwards there. So that's your intermediate. And then exhale down. So inhale and lift, draw into your pelvic floor. Exhale and lengthen, squeeze your bum and thighs. Draw back, exhale down. So anytime you need to, you can just revert back to your mobility one. That's with your hands just down on the floor. And then exhale down. Or you can just remain on this one up and down instead of elongating that out. So try to look down to keep the head in line with the rest of your spine. So if you pick up any detection of a strained neck, just change something so you're not straining your neck and start to feel what's happening with your body and where any tension is building up. Big inhale, lock into that core, exhale, squeezing the bum slightly there as well. So the feet stay down on that one. Big inhale, show you one now where the feet are going to come up. So that's your level 2. And exhale down. Level 3, if you draw the hands, the thumbs next to the rib cage, you lift on up. So only do this if you've done it a few times, Pilates, 6 times at least. And then there's your swan dive number 3. That's where you're really squeezing your bum and thighs. So it's a little bit of a kamikaze type thing there. That's actually upwards, so don't have to go that far. Lengthen out, squeeze your bum and thighs. Keep that head in alignment with the spine. Just one more time, you don't have to do too many, especially if you did your other ones there too. And just relax through, sink back, exhale, and just chill through your spine. Come on forwards into your screen so you can see me if you're doing the class. So if you have a cushion or something like that, maybe you could use it, but you don't have to. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. basically because it doesn't let me download the video if I go on for too long. Plus, I'm sure you've got other things to do. And squeeze into it, so you've activated your inside thighs. Straightness of your spine, relax your shoulders. So I'm going to go to there. That's your first one, and then you can start going lower and lower. Alright, so if you want to come back to that easier one, just watch the feet don't come off. And then if you want this tough, hands in front. So roll the spine, so you're mobilizing the spine and working through your core. There, so you don't have to go all the way back, but I'm going to. There, and really squeeze that pelvic floor tight. So I've used a little bit of momentum, but the main thing is that the feet stay down. There, so gently roll that spine and really feel that connection in that pelvic floor. Zip it into 30% and your TVA. You can also straighten the legs out if that feels good. And then I'm going to come forward and add in that stretch. So even if you do have your knees bent and you want to start that bit there, you can. So you can revert back to bent knees there if you need to. And focus on that pelvic floor. Roll that spine down. Really squeezing into your pelvic floor there and your TVA. So wide lateral breath, keep it active there, and then exhale over. So you're getting more and more pliable, just like an elastic band. So each time you're heating that band up and becoming more flexible, more agile in your spine. Fill up that wideness of your breath, connect with that pelvic floor. Find that length and then reach on over, getting more and more into there. Keep squeezing through and keeping the connection with the inner thighs into the pelvic floor because everything attaches. Okay, so that's my feet slipping by the way. Slowly come on down. Big inhale, big exhale, come on up. Feel that wideness of your breath. Reach on over, one of the advantages of doing online training, eh? And find more length through that lower spine. Lift on up. I'm going to roll all the way down. Let's pick it up through your Pilates on the floor, on the core section. So get rid of the ball for now, or that cushion. And to find neutral here, thumb onto the belly button, two peace fingers onto the pubic bone. So you can push the hips up to the maximum and then back towards the back to the maximum, and then just get smaller and smaller between these 2 points, and that is your own neutral spine. So you're going to start off with a single leg stretch. So there, if you want to, come straight back down. Otherwise, beginners there, exhale out, inhale back in, exhale down. So you're really zipping up that pelvic floor. Big inhale, exhale out, zip that pelvic floor as you exhale breath. So you're creating that powerhouse. Exhale down. So continue with 4 more of those. Otherwise, come up into a tougher one. So ribcage to hip and imprint like I'm going to punch you in the belly. It's quite tough, this one. So fingertips relax. So you can touch down if you need to, or you can go halfway, or you can elongate out and then drop in there is even harder. There. So big inhale, exhale and reach, and that's even harder there. So you don't have to have any equipment. So you're in tabletop, I've got to watch it as well. So your knees stay hinged above your hips, exhale out. So you get into the middle of there, so you're not skewing onto one side. So the stronger the core gets, the more control you're going to have. Exhale and inhale. So I'm reaching towards the bent ankle, come back to your tabletop. It's a 2-part movement. Exhale out and come back in. So now if you need a rest, come on down. Otherwise, I'm going to reach and pulse a little bit here, just to wake up the upper abs. So you're stabilising with the lower. You can do this with the feet down. So I'm going to go for a second set. So if you're there, just stay there. Or if you want to make it a bit harder, you can take the ball between the shoulder blades, or you can lift up. So I'm going to take that through there. So that's a little bit harder because your back is curled already. All right, I've got this ball free from Wish. All right, so I think I just paid the exhale out, inhale back in. So I can really feel that a lot more. So you might not need that, especially if you've only done Pilates a few times. But after you've been doing it for a few months or a year, you might want to do some more challenges. And it's a good way of challenging, is getting that small ball, putting it in between the shoulder blades and back in. So there I can really feel that through my core. So exhale and then gently float back in. So I only need to do really 3 changes and then come back in. Exhale and then come back in. So now I'm going to just touch down, exhale, right leg down, left leg down. So if you need to elongate away to stretch, do it. Obviously I've got the ball there. So stretch out, to stretch your hips out, because you're going to really feel it on the hips. Otherwise, actually let's take the ball out. So you can elongate there and it just releases the hip pressure there. So come back to scissors. So with your scissors, it's a one-time movement, exhale down. Beginners, you're there. So I can still feel it, probably because I've done with a ball. Exhale down. So again, you're going to imprint, come on up. So rib cage to hips, squeeze that belly tight, like I'm going to punch you in the belly. So you've really got that core section tight. And your scissors is here. So you can come to this one with your head down or head up.
Wouldn't it be nice to keep things totally loose?
Excuse me, guys.
Your train of thought.
I just thought I'd just stop that in case they stop my workout. So just carry on doing a bit more stretching for me there. Alright, so I'm going to cancel that. And it's asking me to do something else now because it's come to the end of that track. So I'm going to come over to something else. So while you're stretching out, I'm just going to tune into...
At Lloyd's Bank, we'll
cancel. There, that'll do. So you can roll back down or pick it up again from your scissors. So come back to your scissors, imprint, so scissors, easy. I shouldn't say easy, that's intermediate. This is a little bit more advanced. So you can do it with head down. So exhale and really drop into that pelvic floor. So really making that work. Exhale away. That's it. So keep this into a nice scissor position. So it's nice and equal. So if you've got that flexibility, control that right in. Really flatten out through the TBA. Feel that wide lateral breath. Come back. Exhale, right leg down. Exhale, left leg down. Add that stretching. So I'm going to make this a tad harder by putting the ball behind the shoulder blades. It goes here between the shoulder blades. So once it's between that shoulder blades, it just rolls you up a bit more so it's got the core connection. So imprint, lift on up. So you can do it with this way too, or this way. So another set there. So exhale away. Really find that breath as you exhale, tone up through that pelvic floor. That's it. So you're zipping that pelvic floor in, but you're letting that breath come in and out. So the wideness of that lateral thoracic breath, you're keeping it. And then also flatten out the TBA. So it's like you're putting on the jeans there. So you've got 2 ways of hanging on to that core. So when someone says connect with your core, that's what you're doing. You're probably pulling your belly button in more than your pelvic floor. It's kind of, someone's got to explain that a little bit more. Back to tabletop, exhale, right leg down, exhale, left leg down. Take the ball away. I'm going to come over onto the side. Let's do a bit for your core and your bum and thighs at the top. So let me just show you your introduction. Hope you can see my feet there. I'm just lightly touching. So you can use a ball or a cushion here. Foot on the floor, up or down, so you can relax it down if you need to. So draw into that pelvic floor, big inhale, exhale down. So you can lift on up there if you want to. The actual exercise is to paint the other side of the room with the ball of the foot, then point the toe, and then exhale down. So you can carry on doing 8 of those. I'm going to come a little bit more advanced. So what I'll do is prop myself up, hand is there really. So take your wide lateral breath in, knee aligned with your hip and your shoulder. So I'm going to lift on up, big inhale, exhale forwards, big inhale, exhale down. So feel that length in your spine. Big breath in, wide lateral breath on that exhale, tighten up through the lower belly. There, so you're pulling into that pelvic floor and the TBA. So exhale away, inhale back, exhale down. Big inhale, exhale. So it's all hip distance rather, or hip height. So if you're on the ground, lying down on the ground, you're doing it hip height And now, because I'm up on this side, this is quite advanced. And also you need to have quite a good shoulder stability there. Big inhale, exhale, ball of the foot. Inhale back, draw into that core. So wide lateral breath, big inhale. Exhale, painting that side of the room. Exhale down. So your head and neck is in alignment there. So try and keep that really aligned. Big inhale, exhale down. So I think I did about 10 there. So keep a mental count of how many you're doing on each side, because I'm talking at the same time and I'm not working to the music either. So on this side, it's good for me to turn around. You can use the ball there to relax if you need. So let me just show you your introduction. So you can lift up that leg and lower down. So if you notice, I'm not going higher than my hip. I'm drawing into that pelvic floor. So you can lift that lower leg up or down. So then the actual exercise is to lift, inhale, ball of the foot. Even if you do 4 or 5 of them, and then if you need to go back to your easier one and keep building up and filling in the gaps, so to speak. So it's like bricks and you're filling in the cement. So big inhale, wide lateral breath. So I'm keeping my alignment there with my shoulder and my hips. So this is helping me to keep my balance here. And then painting the other side of the room. Big inhale, exhale down. Excellent for your bum and thighs, this one. Keep that wideness of the breath. And then just gently come on back down. So it's a 4-part movement when you're actually doing the exercise. Big inhale, exhale, that's number 2. Inhale back, exhale down. So inhale and lift, that's number 1. Exhale and paint the other side of the room, number 2. Inhale back and point away. Exhale down. So keep that pelvic floor tight. Good. It's a good one to do, good one for shaping up the hips and building up the strength of your outer thighs here. Big inhale, exhale down. So keep that nice and open. Keep that open there. I'm turning around to see. Big inhale, exhale down. So I know that you're probably going to want to keep looking at the screen, but watch what you're doing as well. Keep in check what you're doing. So if you feel weak after you've done 2 hard ones, you can come down and do the easier ones. Big inhale, it's only to hip height. Exhale, I've totally lost count now. Exhale down. So you keep count of how many you're doing. Ball of the foot, point away. Exhale down. I'm getting tired, so I must have done quite a few. Big inhale, exhale, ball of the foot, tummy nice and tight, pelvic floor tight. Exhale down, nice job. So we're going to come on back down to the ground. And let's get those activated through the glutes. I'm going to squeeze your bum and thighs there. Squeeze, 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 and then just relax it down. So you can take the hands in front to the ground or up. Squeeze into your bum and thighs, pull in through that pelvic floor where you worked it. Stop the kick, gently come on round. Lengthen back, so you don't have to. You can just have the hands underneath the forehead. So small wave kicks. And draw into that pelvic floor. Wide lateral breath. Exhale, squeeze your bum and thighs. Gosh, time's getting on, guys. There, always the way. I shall do another one soon. And we'll cover different areas too. But before we go, I'm going to do a few more core ones too. So slowly come back up. Sink back into your child's pose. Mobilise your back. Cat stretch. Spine mobility. So you can do it off the knees and just draw the knee into the opposite elbow, or that elbow rather, not the opposite one. I'd like to see you do that. Out of plank, so I'm going to draw that in. Exhale out, really strong core now. So where you fired up that core, keep that fire happening. Big inhale, exhale. So I'm just floating to the outside of that elbow. Exhale down, so you're working into your obliques this way. It's very functional. Exhale away, and then come back to your downward facing. You're going to lift up that back leg, really open up, ball of the foot, really find that length, and then exhale forward. There we go. Touch the knee down if you need to, stretching out through your back hip. Exhale down. Step back, Exhale away, swap legs. We're going to really open up. Then come up to the ball of the foot and sweep through. Good job. Feel your breath alive. Just energize yourself. Exhale down, back to your downward facing. Slowly come to the knees, sink on back.